Shabbat Shalom, everyone. How great to see you. Don't feel shy. These seats up front, they're just as warm and wonderful. So I think it's Arthur Rubinstein, but I could be wrong, who said that what makes music beautiful is the pause between the notes. Is that right? Sure.
Yes.
Sure,
Yes,
Rabbi. Tonight, we are going to celebrate that pause between the notes, this moment in Elul. I don't know, someone mentioned to me tonight that there are a couple of holidays coming up. I was shocked. But this is the pause before the transcendence. So welcome, Brachim Habayim, blessings to all of you who are here on this Shabbat, the penultimate Shabbat of Elul. I will say penultimate was one of my words for the SATs, and so I always use it now. I'm Rabbi Ruth Slotnick. I am joined by our wonderful music director, Chava Morel, and our incredible musicians, Sean and Emma and Doug. And we're so grateful to Jamie, who is connecting us to you at home. And so what we're going to ask of those of you who are here in this pause before we open the gates of the days of awe, on this Shabbat, where we just take stock of who we are right now in this moment. If you're able, we're going to invite you to turn to your right and look at the red light. If you can't, that's okay. On the count of three, we're just going to say Shabbat Shalom. 1, 2, 3. Shabbat Shalom. That was beautifully done. And now I'm going to invite you, if you're able, to say Shabbat Shalom not only to the people that you may be sitting near, but maybe to someone a couple of rows away, someone you've never met before, someone you haven't seen in a long time. Let's take a moment to do that. Shabbat Shalom. Oh.
I'm so glad we made it to now.
We got it. We got this. Oh, you're so cold, and I'm so warm.
I always feel like we got this whenever I'm with you.
Oh.
It's very comforting.
Because I really feel the same way, because I feel like we're just...
It's all connected, that this is our lens into that. Yeah. play like Motown, fun tunes. Yeah. Maybe we can get Taylor to sing with us and play that song.
He was awesome. Oh, so very nicely done. We're so grateful that you're all here tonight. And we're going to sing some melodies that are familiar, maybe some melodies that are new. First, we're going to light the lights of Shabbat. And before we do so, we do like to acknowledge, and you know, one of the conversations I've been having a lot at the professional level and with lay leaders is, you know, what are we doing that is virtue signaling? And I spoke with a rabbinic friend of mine who said, you know, Ruth, you are a rabbi in a synagogue. All that a synagogue does is virtue signaling. So just know that that's okay. Virtues and values are actually a part of who we are. So, and a part of who we are is since 10/7/23, we light 3 candles, recognizing that the war in Gaza continues, recognizing that there are hostages who have not returned home, and that there is a human rights catastrophe happening there. Our hearts are breaking this week for a myriad of reasons across the globe. And so I'd like to invite on this penultimate Shabbat of 5785, anyone who would like to join me, who would like just a little more light at the very end of this Jewish year. If you just would like to be near the candles, the Shabbat light that brings in blessing, I invite you to join me. And I hope I am not alone up here. Thank you, Chava. Come on up. And so we light 3 candles, 2 are Shabbat candles, 1 recognizing that we hope will light a candle no more when there are no longer anyone who is in the midst of war. We need someone who has not had cataract surgery to do lighting the candles. TJ, would you do us? And as these candles are lit, we wish that all of you who want to expand the light that is within you and around you, may you help bring more light to all of us who are in community with you. As we bring in that light, maybe you want to wave your arms 3 times and close your eyes as we bless these candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And as 5785 descends and 5786 ascends, may light only ascend in your lives. Amen. And so we're ready to welcome in the joy, the beauty of the presence of Shabbat. And it's envisioned like this is a wedding, and we're welcoming in a beloved. And so we sing Dodi Li, oh, my beloved is mine, and I am my beloved.
Dodi li vani lo haroel bashoshanim. Dodi li vani lo haroel bashoshanim. Dodi li mizoto Dodili vanilo haroel bashoshanim Dodili bashoshanim bashoshanim Dodili.
We love to sing this particular verse from the Song of Songs in the month of Elul because we're told that this is the time when that verse really awakens and helps the divine feel love for us and us to feel love for the divine. And that opens us up to being ready to welcome in the presence of Shabbat with the Chadodi, same language, same love language. This is a moment in the Jewish calendar when we are open to letting love in. L'chadodi continues, I believe, on page 20, and we'll do, as we always do, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And in the 9th verse, maybe if you're able, you'll want to rise and turn towards the door and see if you can't feel a shift in the energy of love in this room.
Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemo tiferet v'litila Lecha dodi Kala penei Shabbat nekavela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha Ki hi mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tefila Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Shabbat nekavela Hitoreri Kiva orech kumi ori Uri shir daberi Kevod Adonai alai Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela.
Please feel free to rise in body or spirit.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha תוכמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה.
The pause between the notes. Please be seated and see if you don't feel a little fluttering on your shoulders. That just might be the angels of Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem is on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And we have the pause between the notes. And before we enter into our evening service, I'm going to invite you, maybe you want to close your eyes, maybe not, but to think about something that brought you, even in this challenging week, some joy. What was a moment of joy or of contentment this week? Hold on to it, and I invite you to breathe in deeply and breathe out. And let that joy into the world. And maybe there was something that was challenging for you this week. Whatever it was, breathe it in and hold it and breathe it out and let it go. And now I invite you to take a few deep breaths on your own, just being content with who you are right in this moment. And with that, we're ready to rise in body or spirit and be called to prayer with Baruch Hu, page 28.
This is a melody that is used at camp, so if anyone goes to Camp Kalsman, you'll recognize it. But it's also a beautiful kavanah, an intention for us for our new year. Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Ya la 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 la, ya la la la. ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
I hope you will join me in the Chatima at the bottom of page 30 after I just share these few words from Jane Kenyon. Let the light of late afternoon shine through chinks in the barn, moving up the bales as the sun moves down, and let the cricket take up chafing as a woman takes up her needles and her yarn. Let evening come. Let it come as it will, and don't be afraid. God does not leave us comfortless, so let evening come. And please join me at the bottom of page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. And then I invite you to share with me this special Ahavat Olam. Jamie, if you don't mind sharing the screen, the slide. This is a special blessing of Torah, the love of Torah, just for Elul. Please join me. If you find joy in Torah, you'll sit with the sages and drink their words. Your soul refreshed like a tree by streams of water. Wisdom will follow you all the seasons of your life. Celebration in the sunlight, consolation in the night. Your roots will grow deep. You'll anchor yourself in courage and hope. You'll savor and cherish the true work of your hands. Your passion for life will not wither or fade. They'll treasure the lessons you leave behind. Remember what you taught in word and deed, and those who come after you will honor your path. Ma ahavti Toratecha, kol hayom hi sichati. How I love your Torah. All day it is my conversation. All day it is my conversation. Could that be more Jewish? No. But the truth is, we are so connected to the divine, both in our words and in our silence. So let's continue now with the Shema, with those words that connect us to the oneness at the heart of the universe, and then feel the silence afterward.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. Such an honor to invite Miles to come up and to help lead us in Via Hafta. It is on page 36, and I really encourage you to join us tomorrow morning because Miles has such a special Devar Torah to share. But now you'll lead us in Via Hafta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anohim mitzavecha Hayom Levaneha Vishinatam Levaneha Vidibartam Bam Bishivteha Biviteha Uvlekteha Vlanderech Uvshokbeha Uvkumeha Uvtaktam Leot Ayadeha V'hayu lefotafot bein eineha uvtavtam al mezuzot beiteha uvishareha leman tiskeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai vehitem kidoshim Eloheihem ani Adonai Eloheihem Asher Hotzeiti Etem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Lehiot Lahem Lelohehim Ani Adonai Eloheihem.
Yasher Koach. Miles, you did an awesome job, and that wasn't so bad, right? I didn't hear a right, but I'm hoping so. You did awesome. Thank you, Miles. So this line from the poet Jane Kenyon, let it come as it will and don't be afraid. God does not leave us comfortless. So let evening come is the heartbeat of the Hashkivenu, our prayer where we ask God to bring the shelter of night onto us. Hashkivenu is on pages 40 through 42, I guess.
42.
42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, from sorrow and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu
And with that sense of presence and shelter, we're ready to rise up and offer our words of blessing to God and hope we hear from God in return. The tefillah is on page 46. Please rise in body or spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yakitehi latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidom Elach, Melech Memid, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol.
HaKadosh U'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yahalu Chasela Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We'll continue in silence, and we'll come out of the silence singing a melody of the Psalm of the Season, Psalm 27, by a composer we know well, our very own Chava Morel, Achat Sha'alti. There's one thing that I ask, says Psalm 27, I want to be in your presence, O God. And one of the ways that we do that is through another verse. We recognize that God is the light around us, and that God is the help that we find, and that there is no one to fear. So we'll continue with the rest of the Amidah in silence and come out recognizing we can be in the presence of the divine. When you're done with your personal prayer, please feel free to be seated.
Achat sha'alti meit Adonai, Achat sha'alti otavakesh, Achat sha'alti meit Adonai, Achat sha'alti utavakesh. Shivti, shivti, beveit Adonai. Shivti, shivti, kol yemei chayai. Shivti, shivti, beveit Adonai. Shivti, shivti, kol yemei chayai. Lachazot b'noam Adonai, uvaker behechalo. Lachazot b'noam Adonai,
Some weeks, more than others, we seek that sense of presence of the divine. What a week it has been. This week when we commemorate the attack on 9/11/2001, this week when we recognize that there has been another political assassination, one of many across the aisle of Charlie Cook. And as we're taking both of those pieces of information into our consciousness, we realize that there was yet another school shooting yesterday in Colorado. What a world we live in. What a gift Shabbat is, that it gives us this cathedral in time where we can recognize that we can build the world that we believe should exist. And so we take a moment to pray for repair, to pray for healing. And we know that we're not only thinking about the world at large, but there are some of those of you who walked through the doors this evening who are in pain and in need of healing of body or soul. And there are some of you who are at home or maybe even in hospital rooms who are in need of healing. So I'm going to give us an opportunity to say out loud the name of anyone that we want to include in our prayer for healing now.
People that have been killed because of their religion.
For everyone we may have named out loud and anyone who may remain named in our heart, we continue with our Mishaberach for healing, page 253.
Shaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May each and everyone know a full and speedy healing of body and of soul. Amen. And so I have the good luck to be able to share with all of you and all of you at home just a little bit abyssal, as a beloved teacher of mine used to say, of Torah this week. And this week's Torah portion is kind of a funky one, as Miles can tell you. I really encourage you, if you want a really in-depth teaching about this week's Torah portion to come back tomorrow. But I'd like to share a little bit because Ki Tavo is really, in some ways, really a quintessential Deuteronomy Torah portion. Deuteronomy, or Devarim as we know it, is the book of Torah that is about monotheism at its heart. And if you want to know what monotheism is at its heart, it is about Brit. It is about a mutual covenantal love between God and humanity. The closest we can understand, because we're not God, even however much we may think of ourselves, is in that love that two human beings can share with one another in all sorts of different ways. This week's Torah portion, however, reminds us that sometimes in that covenantal relationship where there are mutual obligations, sometimes if you don't fulfill your obligation to your beloved, there might be some negative consequences that follow. And so this Torah portion is replete with what we call in the religious business blessings and curses. And shockingly, I know this will shock all of you. Many of you I know have been part of the Jewish community for a while. There are more curses than blessings, just saying. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that Yom Kippur really has the final say in who we are as a people? That really, that feeling of those negative forces that might be released are the defining ones? I would suggest to you no. I would suggest to you that when we're in relationship with other people, we have choices that we can make. And we can make life-affirming choices, or we can make harmful or maybe even destructive choices. And that the blessings and the curses, I think the reason why in our Torah text there are more curses than blessings is because I think one of the, maybe the quirks of being a human being, one of the quirks of the human condition, is that we like to kvetch more than we like to compliment. We find it a little easier to complain than to find gratitude in the moment. But that's not what our tradition suggests to us. And I'll give you an example from my own life. Some of you know that a week ago I had the great honor to do one of my niece's weddings, and it happened to fall on the Gregorian date of my father's third yahrzeit. And my family was a little upset when they realized that. But then I told them, you don't have to worry, because actually the Jewish date is 3 days before. So we'll mourn 3 days before, and we'll dance on the day of the wedding. It wasn't enough for my family, and so I want to say a particular thank you to Chava Morel, because I was complaining about this, because that's what you do when you're in a brit with other people. You kvetch more than you compliment. And I mentioned at a professional meeting this last week that my family wasn't understanding that it's okay to celebrate at this wedding of my niece. And Chava reminded me of this beautiful Talmudic teaching. I believe it's from Brachot, but I'm not 100% sure. So, ask me, don't ask Chava. But Chava reminded me of this beautiful teaching about when there's a funeral procession and a wedding procession, and they come to a crossroads at the same time. The funeral procession has to wait to let the wedding procession go by. Because you do not delay joy. You do not delay gratitude. You do not delay blessing. And then, as Rabbi Jesse said in response, because we have a very Jewish team where there's call and response and argument, but you make sure to let the funeral procession also complete its journey, because we don't forget about those we once loved. So for me, this week, this teaching about blessings and curses feels very real, particularly as we navigate this world, which feels out of control. And I know that we all stand with some fear about what remains, what are the next steps for our country, for our people, for Israel, whatever it may be. And I want to suggest to you that in the book of Deuteronomy, 12 times we are told to manifest simcha, to manifest joy, to recognize the joy in our lives, even when we are finding it difficult. Now, I want to share tonight a teaching with, and I'll conclude with this. Don't worry, we're not going to go on too long, but by Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, because tomorrow night at Slichot, and we want to encourage you to come and join us, because part of what we will be doing for the whole High Holy Day season is figuring out how do we have courageous hearts, and how do we lean on the legacy of 70 years of Temple Beth Am, living and being a progressive and justice-oriented Jewish voice. How do we do this in this particular moment for the American people and for the Jewish people? We're going to figure that out together. And tomorrow night, we're going to talk about that a little bit. And tomorrow night, we're going to talk about this notion of happiness, which we as Americans have been fed a lot. But tonight, I just want to share with you one more thought, and it's about joy. Because Rabbi Jonathan Sachs suggests that happiness is a uniquely Western and maybe even American value. Happiness is a sense of contentment that we think we can achieve in an ongoing way. But joy, he suggests, is always experienced with others, and it always takes us by surprise if we're really open to it, whatever our larger circumstances are. Joy shows up twice in this week's Torah portion, reminding us that to express gratitude for the abundance in our lives, even as we may be facing challenges, is what it means to truly be alive. It's what it means to truly be blessed. It may feel like there aren't as many opportunities for that kind of blessing, but they're there all around us. So I just want to conclude with this teaching that I think is quintessentially Jewish. The way we awaken to the blessings in our lives, the way we make sure that we don't delay joy, is by doing it together. It is not an individual experience. As Rabbi Jonathan Sachs has said, celebrating together binds us as a people. That and the gratitude and humility that come from seeing our achievements not as self-made, but as a blessing from beyond us. Joy connects us to others and to the divine. Joy is the ability to celebrate life as such, knowing that whatever tomorrow may bring, we are here today, under heaven, in a universe created beyond ourselves, to which we have been invited. Jews have known suffering, isolation, hardship, and rejection, yet never in their entire history, they have never lacked the religious courage to rejoice. To know insecurity and still feel joy means the spirit can never be broken, nor hope destroyed. Tomorrow night, I'm going to share a little bit about my hero, Martin Buber, who suggested that the only way that there can be a Jewish life after Auschwitz, and I would suggest to you the only way there can be a Jewish life in 5786, is if we make sure to lift up the few moments of joy and gratitude, even in our lives of challenge and trial. Could we live a life without joy? Yes. But my question to you is that a life you want to live? The days of awe are upon us, our time of reflection right now. And what I ask of you is that may we, like our ancestors, have the religious courage to experience joy in the year ahead. Ken Hiratzon. And with that said, we can turn now to the newest words in our Siddur, our prayer book. They're only from the 15th century. They're such youngins. And they speak about creating tikkun olam, a repairing of the divisions in this world. So please join us for Aleinu L'Shabeach. It's at the top of page 282. Please rise in body or spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shehu notesh shamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'ol, u'shchinat uzo v'govhei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, va'anachnu korim, u'mishachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. The poet has said, "Let evening come as it will, and don't be afraid. God does not leave us comfortless, so let evening come." On this week, we are remembering a beloved longtime member of Temple Beth Am and a leader in the Seattle art community, Gary David Fagan, husband of Pamela Bellier, father of Sarah and of Benjamin of blessed memory, father-in-law of David Mondello, brother of Sybil of blessed memory, grandfather of Nathaniel, Eleanor, and Rosalind. And I will say Gary made the mural that is in our Kahila Center in our school wing. It's called Birth is a Beginning, based on a very famous Chaim Stern prayer. And his legacy will live on in our community. We're also remembering in this period of Shilashim Anne Crosby, sister of Margie and Carolyn, and Jake Krevsky, father of Mona, Alan, Solomon, Katie, and Tamar Krevsky Puckett, and father-in-law of Glenn Puckett, grandfather of Shoshana, Shem, Abigail, Max, Lila, Zachary, Talia, and great-grandfather of Azamra, Shlomo, and Mordechai. We're also remembering Shelley Sherman, stepsister of Cynthia Shulman and aunt of Rebecca Papa George Himmelman. And we are remembering Carmen Jean Dolan, mother of Chuck and Ted, mother-in-law of Bunny Hirschman and Allison Dolan, and grandmother of Wyana. We are also remembering on this Shabbat these loved ones: Esther Alfie, Linda Andrews, Harold Berman, Linda Bourne, Robert Cohn, Miriam Efron, Julia Eulenberg, Gary Fagan, Rachel Funk, Frida Gendler, Harry Gerstein, Charles Glatstein, Elizabeth Gross, Franklin Henry, Betty Jacobs, Louis Jacobs, Dallas Johnson, Ethel Kaufman, Simon Khalili, Sean Kinney, Elsa Levinson, Jody Levy, Ann Lithman, Edith Lorber, Alan Lundstadt, Zita Manick, Barbara Marks, who was a past president of our community, Michael Norman, Daniel Parker, Edith Potashnik, Harry Rode, Joe Salzberg, Charlotte Silverman, Sydney Silverstone, Carrie Strausser, Raitza Tev, Miriam Trank, Samuel Weinstein, Marcia Weiss, and Michael Zisman. I also invite you to share out loud, either at home, in wherever you may be, or here, the name of anyone that you'd like to include in this time of memory and their relationship to you.
Gloria and Joseph Israel. Tom Living. Dear friend.
If you've lost a loved one in the last week, please rise, or the last month, please rise, or the last year, please rise. Or if you're here commemorating a yard site, please rise. And let's take note of the mourners among us as we rise in body or spirit as one community, keeping the legacy and the memory of our loved ones alive. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, bialma divrach hirute biamlik malkute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dekol Beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kari b'yamru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mibarak Leolam Almei Almaya. Yit Barak V'yit Tabak V'yit Pa'ar V'yit Ramam V'yit Renaseh. V'yit Hadar V'yit Taleh V'yit Talal Shmei Dekudasha Berechu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata. Tush Bechata V'nechemata. Damiran B'alma B'yimru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'yimru Amen. Zikronam Livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing. Please be seated. And in just a moment, we're going to have our Simcha moment. Oh, do you want to do this first? Okay. Can we do it after Simcha moments?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. Perfect. Only because I was going to make one announcement before the Simcha moments, which is that I understand that high holidays are coming. And I just wanted to let you all know that this is really a special High Holy Day season for Temple Beth Am because we are celebrating our 70th anniversary. And you may have noticed either in happenings or on our website that we have special 70th anniversary name tags as a way to help people know each other. And so I needed to do a shameless plug for the name tags. That is a simcha, right? And it's a simcha for anyone who has RSVP'd for any part of the High Holy Days, truly coming together. Whatever your year has been like, whatever your week has been like, I promise you, you will feel the sense of renewal and rebirth that our ancestors have always felt at this season in years past. So with that said, we're just going to do a couple of quick simchas, and then we'll do a little blessing. And I'm feeling some simcha, some joyous energy over here, and I don't know why, and I'm wondering maybe if there's someone who wants to make the announcement. What's your name?
I'm Donna Berliner, and this is my family, David, and, well, everybody. It's too long to introduce everybody. But Miles, my wonderful first grandchild and grandson, is having his bar mitzvah tomorrow.
And I totally felt the simcha coming. I just have to say I felt it from you, Donna, even though Miles is such a special soul. So we're so grateful that you'll be coming to the Bima tomorrow. And we're going to call you out to help us in just a moment. Any other simchas, any other joyous events to share? Yes, and if you'll just share your name, please.
I'm Bonnie, and I am so delighted that my brother Jeff is here from Spokane. That services with me, and his beloved Joni.
Wonderful. Brachim habayim. I'm going to go back here and then come to you. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Rafi, and I just returned last week from my first trip to Israel in 18 years.
Oh, wow,
it
it's a good number.
Life-changing.
Oh, well, Baruch haba. What's your name?
My name's Marla, and my simcha is that our dear friend Ann is visiting from Denver, Colorado. We raised our kids together in California.
Wow.
And I was able to show her some sights of Seattle, including the Ballard Locks, where the fish are absolutely jumping
Oh, I
for
haven't
joy. And it was Joe Kaufman's birthday 2 days ago, and we found his favorite blueberry cream cheese graham cracker crust
wonderful.
pie here in Seattle.
And so, Joe, you're finally able to drink, correct? Right. Yeah. There's a lot of joy going on this side. Okay, thank you. What's your name, and if you share a simcha?
I'm Jeff Silverman, and my sister is visiting from the Bay Area, and she was bat mitzvahed at this synagogue.
If you'd like to read Torah again tomorrow, well, we can talk. Any other joys to share? Okay, wonderful. What's your name?
I'm TJ Stutman, and Simcha, and my own personal act of resistance. I got my flu shot and my COVID shot this afternoon.
Boom. And that's how we do public health in Washington State. Wonderful. Okay, so now, Miles, Chava and I are going to invite you to help us by holding our Kiddush cup. And if you'd like to join us in singing Kiddush, please join us on page 5. And just
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemase v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidasha in kol hamim ve'shavat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashavat lechaim.
in the Temple Beth Am way, if you're able to put your arm around someone who has their arm around someone who has their arm around someone who has their arm around someone or an elbow touching where we say, because COVID still exists, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. And I'll take a little bite, and then anyone else who trusts that I wash my hands before services. And we say, Oseh Shalom Bimromav. May the one who creates peace on high help us create peace down below.
Shalom in Roma. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru.
May you enjoy this penultimate Shabbat in 5785. Shabbat Shalom.